If you run a pest control company doing between $500K and $2 million per year, and you're making as an owner less than you pay your technician, you don't have a marketing or sales problem. You have a pricing problem, and a really big one. And also, if you close 75% or more of inbound leads, you're not actually a great salesman. You're just severely underpriced. Welcome to another episode of The Route. I'm your host, Landon Daines. I'm gonna go through everything you should know about pricing in your pest control company and why certain things might actually not be good that you think are good in your company, and how to make way more money per customer and more profit in your company, because a lot of companies grow fast and get to certain levels of revenue, but the owner has no money to show for it. And on the outside, it looks like a great company, but every single day the owner is struggling and making less than his techs, which is not where you want to be. So more leads really only means more work for your companies, but better pricing will mean more profit. So most companies are honestly a few tweaks away from pouring in $30,000 to $100,000 more into their pockets. And so I want to go through those things. So first, let's go through the ideal price points for general pest control services. So again, this is not termite, this is not mosquito, this is not rodent or anything like that. This is general pest. What I would recommend is you want to have one premium service. So no more one-off services for ants, spiders, scorpions, cockroaches, like all those pests. Group that in, bundle it into one premium service. So if someone calls in for ants, they're getting the premium service for everything. If they call in for cockroaches, you're getting everything. This is going to help with your pricing, but it's also going to help you position yourself as a premium option. For the initial service, you want to be making between $100 to $200 per initial service. So between $1 to $129 is really on the weak side. A healthy range is between $130 to $170. That's the strong, healthy, consistent range of initial services. That's what I'd shoot for. If you want to be aggressive, I'd shoot for 170 plus. For recurring services, so this is bi-monthly or quarterly, I would not do monthly, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the episode. So if you're doing monthly service, stay tuned to the end. But for recurring general pest services, between $119 to $139 is pretty weak in my opinion. Anything below that is extremely weak. That's a red flag. You need to get those prices up immediately. Healthy range is between $140 to $170. Again, just strong right there. If you're doing quarterly services, $160 a pop, you're gonna have a good company. And if you want to be aggressive, $170 plus for recurring services. Now, let's go through 3 levers in your business of how you can make way more money using your prices. One is around your closing. So if you're closing, like I said at the beginning, 70 to 80% of your leads, that's actually a bad thing. I have owners that get on calls with me and they tell me, close almost every single lead. I close 80 or 90%. And they're beaming when they tell me, and I got to give them the hard truth. That's actually a very, very bad thing. And they've never heard that someone say that to them before. It's true, because that's not a skill at that point. It's just you're severely underpriced. And so that's why everyone's buying. You're overselling your service at a too low a price. And so you're leaving a ton of money on the table and doing services for way lower than it should be. So now you're making less than you should. Although you're selling a bunch of new customers, you're going to hit a ceiling really quickly, and you've probably already hit it, that I can't take on any more work and I can't afford to hire. So I'm just stuck in this limbo. Let me go through 2 scenarios. Company A's cheap price, let's call it 90 per quarter. You're closing 75% of leads, call it 50 leads per month. So 50 leads come in, you close 70% of those at $90 a quarter. You just sold $12,600 of annual revenue. So the customer's going to pay you $360 on the year. So you're selling roughly $12,000 of new revenue per month, leads that come in every single month on 50 leads. At a higher price, if we raise that to 135, so still on the lower end of what I would like, but just to show you the difference here. So 135, so same amount of leads come in, 50 leads come in, you close 55% of those. So your closing percentage drops 15%, but you're closing them at 135 a quarter. You now just closed over $15,000 of revenue. Went from $12,000 and change to $15,000 and change. So $2,000 to $3,000 more, less customers. That's the goal with your pest control company. Believe it or not, you don't want every customer. You want less customers who pay you more. Because if I can make more revenue with less customers, that's way more profit. So I can grow faster. That's the key. If you are selling more customers at a lower price, that's a lower margin. That's like the Walmart way of just super low prices. And so it's for everyone. They run on super slim margins and they're massive. That's the only way they can do it. And that's why a bunch of companies get capped out at 1 or 2 technicians, because their margins are so slim and they can't figure out what to do. And it's not about hiring another company. It's not about doing more marketing. It's all on your prices. So sell fewer customers at a higher price, and you'll actually be shocked. When you raise your price, you'll be shocked with how few people say no to it. And the only people that do are the ones that weren't your customers in the first place. What you want to do is consistently raise your prices until your closing percent is between 50 and 60%. That's the ideal range. If it's higher than that, your prices are still too high. So I'd keep raising prices until a few more people are saying no every month, until it's ideally in that 50, 60% range. Once you're there, you're closing enough people so marketing's paying for itself, and it's at a high enough price point so it's super healthy for your profits. Lever number 2, price anchoring. So this will go hand in hand with number 1. Anytime you quote a service or quote a new customer, you want to anchor the price. Most pest control companies are selling way too many one-time services, and it's actually because their pricing structure and the way they're talking to customers is encouraging the one-time service. The way their prices are set up is saying, hey, the one-time service is the better option for you, so go ahead and take that. Here's how you want to do it. Anytime someone calls in, anchor the price and tell them, okay, for the services I just explained, typically it's $399. Or you could say, if you want to do it one time, it's $399. Or we have a recurring plan, which most customers take us up on. We come every quarter for you and we do XYZ more, and you have coverage throughout. So you can call us anytime for extra services between. And the best news is it's 50% off to start. So it's just $199 to start. And then we also keep the discount every quarter when we come. So you can say $199 a quarter, or you could say, hey, it's going to be $65 a month or a month or something like that. So basically you're making the recurring option way better, and it's anchored against the one time. Now the customer has an option. He or she can do the one-time service at the $399, or they can do the recurring at the $199 a quarter. Either way is a huge win for your company, because you're either going to make a ton of money and profit on the one time, and then you can also nurture the lead later on, or you're going to make a recurring deal that's super, super healthy margins. What's going to happen when you use anchor pricing? Three things. Number one, your recurring signups is going to increase a ton in relation to one times. So you're going to get way more people on recurring. You're going to make your one-time services way more profitable. So rather than going out and doing that one-time job you've been doing for $150, like just kind of begrudgingly doing it because $150 and you're never going to see that customer again. Now it's like, hey, I'm making $400 on this. I'll go ahead and go do that. Yeah, it's going to cost me $50, take 45 minutes of my time. I'll do that for sure. Or the recurring deal, and I'm making money month over month over month. So sales go up. One-time services are now way more profitable, and your routes are going to be way more healthy because you're making more money per service. So there's more margin there for hiring and everything else. Make sure that you anchor all your prices, whether it's over the phone, whether it's in person, whether it's to an old lead that you're trying to resell. Always anchor against a higher one-time price versus the lower recurring plan. Number three is the monthly trap. So if you do any service that's monthly, you need to listen up. Monthly services are what a lot of owners do early on because it can fill a route really quickly. And they know, okay, if I can just sell one customer, now I've got that one customer on a slot every single month. So it fills up the entire month and year pretty quickly. And so a lot of owners do that early on. The issue is, again, you cap out really fast and there's not enough margin and there's not enough capacity to grow. It feels good to sell them, but it actually kills you a few years down the road. If you do any customers monthly, let's call it $70 per month, you do a monthly service. Right now, I know you're stuck and it sucks, but here's how to get out of it. You're going to go to your customer and say, hey, I'm going to upgrade you. You've been a loyal customer for 3 or 4 years now. I'm going to upgrade you to our premium. It's a new plan we have. It's premium. It's a bi-monthly plan. You're going to do more coverage. You're going to get extra coverage around the home. Also offer free reservices. So if there's any issues between, I will come back for free. And best news for you, I'm actually going to save you money. So instead of $70 per month, you're going to drop down to just $60 per month. Massive win-win for you and for the customer. So for you, you just went from making $70 per service to now making $120 per service. Let's say it cost you $25 to do a service. So in the current way you're running things, if you're doing a service for $70, costs you $25 of chemicals and time and all that kind of stuff, you're making $45 gross profit. So there's other expenses attached. You got insurance and trucks and such. But let's just stop at that point because the rest of it stays the same. So $45 gross profit. On this bi-monthly version, you just upgraded customers to, now you're making $120 revenue per service. It's still costing you the same. It doesn't cost you any more. It costs the exact same, maybe $1 or $2 more because you're going to add on a few extra services or coverage with extra granules or whatever. But let's just keep all the numbers the same. $25, you're making $95 gross profit per service. So you went from 45 to 95. You more than doubled your gross profit per service. And at the same time, you doubled your capacity for each route, whether it's you or your technicians. Now every single route has double the capacity. And like I said early, the customer is happy now because they're saving money. They're getting a better service for less. Why would they say no to that? And why would you say no to this? Because you're making way more per service. And what happens now? You have way more margin to maybe pay yourself for the first time, maybe grow the company, maybe hire a technician and just get off the truck and enjoy time with your family. Maybe get a new software so you can actually automate things and run things smoother. Maybe get another truck, whatever it is. You have way more margin now to do whatever you've been waiting to do and to actually grow now. So do that immediately. Monthly services fills route, but the bi-monthly will build your company. And that's what's more important. So if you have, I'm going to use 500 recurring customers as an example. If you have 500 recurring customers, go to those customers, raise their price. If you haven't done it in the last 12 months, raise their price right now. Let's call it $8 per month because most companies are severely underpriced. We're going to raise their price $8 per month. It doesn't matter if they're on a monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly service. We're just going to use this number here. $500 or 500 customers times $8 per month, $4,000 per month. So this year, that's $48,000 of new revenue in the company. And the best part is almost entirely profit because there's no new expenses, no new marketing, no new houses. It's just what you're already doing. You're making way more. So $48,000 more in your pocket. Again, what could you do with that? New hire, new marketing, new growth, pay yourself. There's so much more. Do those price increases, focus on those 3 levers, going from monthly to upgrading to a bi-monthly premium service, price anchoring every single sale you have, and making sure that your close rate is in the right range between 50 and 60%. If it's higher than that, you need to raise your prices until it gets down in that range. That's the happy medium of a perfect closing percentage range and great pricing because you're making way more per customer. Do those 3 things, raise prices right now, and you'll be shocked with with how quickly more money will pour in your pocket. Main reasons I've seen of why owners don't raise prices, because they honestly overthink it. They think, oh, if I raise my prices even $1 or $2, everyone's going to cancel. Or people will think, switching up on them. Like I've been loyal to them for 10 years and that they're going to think I'm just trying to get money from them. Or I might get a negative review. Or they might go to another company. I know other companies charge less, so they might just leave me immediately. So they live in this scarcity mindset of, oh no, if I do raise the price, the whole world's going to crumble around me. When in reality, that's not true. Good customers will leave over $8 per month. Bad customers might. And they're probably the customers that hound you all the time, ask for a bunch of reservices, require you to be at the property for an hour every single time and watch you do the service, pay you late, pay by check, or like all those hassles you deal with. Those are the kind of customers that leave. And we're happy to have them leave. But the good customers who never home when you service, you can do their house, they pay you on time, there's auto pay on file, and things run really smooth, they don't care. They're happy. You've earned that trust to raise the price. They want that same just value, consistency, and they know what they're going to get. If someone does leave over a price increase, we're going to leave at some point eventually. This just helps filter those people out. Most times, if you do a price increase the right way, you're going to get the right people to stay and few people will leave. So if you want to start, the easiest way to do it is start with new customers. So start with that anchor pricing, start with higher prices on new sales calls, and you'll see really quickly, oh wow, people do buy at these prices. We have companies we work with in Pest Launch who, before we start with them, we're selling new customers at $70 per service. And we walk them through these exact things. And that same week or that same month, they're closing customers at $130, $140, $150 plus per service. And I love seeing those messages and those calls right away. Hey, that was so much easier than I thought. Hey, I've never closed someone at that price. I didn't know people even bought at that price. Your confidence builds as you do it. Do it on new customers. You'll see that customers are really happy to pay those prices when the value is there and when you're confident in it, and then shift to your current customers. Okay, we see that works. Let's go to our current customers. Let's raise these prices, and there's going to be no pushback from the ones you care about because you've earned that trust with them. So follow those tweaks, those 3 levers, raise prices. And again, your business is just a few tweaks away from $30,000 to $100,000 more in your pocket. And that's what's going to speed up growth way more than any type of new marketing or new sale or new flashy thing will do for you. So hopefully this is helpful. Comment, leave a review in this episode. It's really helpful to hear feedback from you guys and what's helpful and what's not. If you want to check out some more content, go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We got content everywhere. Landon Daines and Pest Launch. And we just want to give more value and help you guys grow your pest control companies.